Hello everyone! Alright, why am I showing you some video of my pet rats? My daughter's pet rats that she convinced me to get, actually. Well, I'm showing you this because I want to tell you how I cured Vanilla right here, the light colored one, with a Whole Foods vegan diet. After the vet basically said she should be put down, and she was super seriously sick. Okay, well, I'm going to tell you how that happened in just a moment. Hi, guys. Okay, guys, so you just saw Vanilla, my daughter's pet rat, and I'm just going to get more into the story of her and her sickness, which was a very critical illness that she should have died from. But I totally believe that a whole food plant-based diet has cured her. Okay, so I have two rats, and we had two earlier before, and those two died, and one of them had died from this respiratory illness, which is very common for rats to get. And this rat, I'll just show you, Vanilla, she had, there was blood outside of the cage, splattered on the wall, like huge masses of blood that I thought, how did this come from a small creature inside this cage? Since we have two, I didn't know which one had done it, but they both seemed fine. Fast forward a week later, suddenly Vanilla is clearly very ill, on a higher level in the cage, her head hanging down, and looking like it was hard to breathe. Watched her for like a day, maybe 2 days later, she was even in worse shape. I had to take her to the vet on the weekend for like an emergency checkup because I thought she was about to die. And that's exactly what the vet confirmed. He said she is gravely ill. Even with him holding her, she seemed to be more distressed, hardly breathing well at all, and he thought she might even die right there on the table. Now, of course, he gave us the option to give her medicine and said he totally, completely believed it would be a waste. But if I wanted to spend the money, and when you've got your daughter there who's like, hey, you know, we have to do what we can, that's what we did. So we got the medicine, and 2 days into giving it to her, which is around the time he said she should be better, we noticed she wasn't getting better, so again, did not look as though she was going to do well. And the other thing is, before this, she'd stopped eating at least sort of a few days, maybe a couple days. As she seemed to get worse, she wasn't eating, which for a lot of animals is the time when they're like, you know what, I know I'm dying, so I'm not going to bother eating. In any case, about maybe day 3, I started to try to inject her medicine into slices of watermelon. And I think because she was so hungry, she loves watermelon, she took the watermelon and she was able to get the medicine in there. So I think another 2 days from that, like day 4 to day 5, day 4.5, she finally seemed to be coming around. She was peppy, she was like back in her home because she was not sleeping in the house when this happened, and she was up on the cage, she was excited to see me and excited for some food. So I thought, awesome. She did have another setback. She seemed like the next day she wasn't feeling as well again, but ultimately she seemed, while not 100%, to be doing better. And it just occurred to me at that point, you know what, I'd been learning so much about nutrition and whole food, plant-based diets, and I said, why don't I try giving her this stuff, just giving her pure food, because if you've had rats or you know anything about rats, they're great composters. I mean, they'll practically eat anything. So they're so easy to feed, and if you've got like scrap meats on your plate, scrap fish, scrap chicken, bones, you know, some food that might be rotting a little bit, they'll eat it. You know, they will eat anything. So in that sense, they're so easy. And we would give her stuff like that. So I said, I'm not going to give her any more meat. You know, I was really not eating meat at the time, a little bit. I hadn't completely cut out my meat from my diet, but I was working on it. But my mother would often give me like chicken bones or meat bones from the soup for the rats. And of course my daughter is still eating meat. But I said, I'm not going to give her any meat. She seemed to continue to do a little bit better. And then my mom gave me some fish, and like fish with some bone on it, and I said, okay, well, you know what, she seems better. And of course the other rat in the cage, Cupcake, loves her treats, so I said, why don't I give them some fish? Well, I swear to God, maybe that night or the next day, whatever it was, whenever I gave her the food, she reacted. and she was back up on her high perch with her head hanging over. You know, like it was just easier for her to catch breath that way or something, and out of her home, out of her sleeping little house in the cage. And I thought, oh my God, because my instinct was like, oh heck, the fish. I should not have given this to her. And I said to my mom, you know, I don't know, I think giving her that fish might have set her back, because I'd been trying to just give her, you know, some nuts, seeds, fruit like watermelon, bananas, cherries, strawberries, blueberries, avocado, carrot, beets, just all that kind of good stuff. And I said, I think this set her back. Now my mom, a bit skeptical, oh, well, you know, it could just completely be coincidence. I said, oh, I hope so, but now I thought she was going to die. I didn't want to bother take her back to the vet. And I thought, well, you know, if she's suffering badly, hopefully she'll just go quickly, but I was watching it. And in the meantime now, I gave her the Whole Foods again. I think she loved the watermelon. And so suddenly she started to improve. Of course, they have their bag of rat food, which is, you know, some sunflower seeds, different stuff that they say is formulated for rats for their optimal nutrition. That's always in the cage. But no more junky treats, no more meat treats, no more any other stuff. I was now giving her a whole food plant-based diet with her diet from her bag, and bananas and strawberries and avocado. They really love avocado. Take a look at this clip right here. They love avocado. In any case, that seemed to be working. Suddenly she was better. Suddenly she was stronger. She was back in her house. She was playing with her cage mate. She was back to normal. And I thought, okay, well, maybe this is just a fluke, but let me watch this. A month passes. 2 months pass. And now we're at the 3-month mark since the time she should have been put down. And trust me, if you see the pictures of the blood, that's a lot of blood. And she was in horrible shape. But a Whole Foods plant-based diet has actually worked to heal her. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind. And it just confirms all the research. You know, obviously giving your body optimal nutrition is the best way to fight disease. Now, she's not going to live forever. I get that. And she's just about 2 years old. But rats can live from 2 to 6 years, and we'll see how long she goes. The last ones, they were about 2 years old when they died. And, you know, I just really believe the diet's helping. I have a friend, well, a friend of a friend who had like a stage 4 cancer. I can't remember what kind. Oh, gosh. Ugh. Anyway, it was one of the ones that is supposed to kill you pretty quickly, or kill you. Most people don't survive it, and I just can't remember the name of hers. But she was a miracle, a walking miracle. So I saw her a few months back, and I asked her, well, what did you do? And, you know, like, did you do anything else besides your treatment to you know, that you think has helped you? And she told me she completely changed her diet. And I know someone else who did the same thing. And now these people who had stage 4 cancer are thriving. I mean, this is for this lady years since her supposedly fatal diagnosis, when she was told to go home and basically, you know, get her stuff together. And she didn't. And she changed her diet, and she's still here. So obviously, if a whole food plant-based diet can help a creature like a rat heal, what can it do for us? So I just wanted to share that with you guys. If you have any questions or comments, of course, you know, put them down below. And, you know, it's obvious that at least eating more of a whole food plant-based diet is the way to go to fight off disease. So hopefully this video has been informative, and you will, you know, take from it what you will. But I think the stuff works, and that's the way to go. All right. Thanks for watching.